As a child, 20-year-old Melissa Jane Fox experienced what no little girl should.
I was sexually abused by my father's dad from the age of 7 to the age of 12, I believe it says in the court papers. The only age we know is what he gave in his police interview. I went the best part of my childhood. Like he would babysit and take any chance he had, and then he just stopped when I was 12. He didn't even mention anything, didn't say anything. It was just almost like it never happened.
Too frightened and confused to tell anyone of the attacks, Melissa buried all memory of her abuse, but was forced to revisit the trauma many years later as her grandfather, Edwin Gallion, mentioned her when investigated by police for separate offences against children.
I was able to go through secondary school, able to go through the beginning of college, like nothing had happened, and then it came out in 2015, and the court case was in 2016. So it was all kind of thrown back into the deep end, if you will. Before, it was like it had never happened. I didn't ever have to think about it. All of a sudden it was, I'm being asked questions, I'm being asked to remember what had happened, I'm being asked to remember every single detail. And it's almost like I can't even begin to want to think about it, let alone get straight back out there and explain everything and bring up things that happened years and years ago. When you've closed those days away, it's a lot harder. You've told yourself it didn't happen, therefore you believe it didn't happen, and then all of a sudden you're thrown back into deep end to the point where it is, and you're not coping with it.
Gallion served no more than 17 months of his 12-year prison sentence before dying this January behind bars at HMP Swellside on the Isle of Sheppey in Kent.
I think at first it was more disappointment he wouldn't get to finish his sentence. I think it was more closure as well. He was never going to get out and be free. He was never going to be downtown or anything. We'd never walk down there and walk into him again.
Melissa hopes that by sharing her story, others will feel encouraged to come forward. According to the Office of National Statistics, around 3 in 4 victims had not told anyone about their abuse at the time, most commonly due to embarrassment or thinking that they would not be believed.
There are so many people out there who are still suffering, and getting a message out there, yes, you can do it anonymously online, but you can do it a lot better if you actually try and get out there yourself, get yourself noticed, and help someone else who's in the same situation as you were. Whether it was 3 years ago, whether it was 40 years ago, 60, there is always someone who's going to be there to listen to you. Whether you want to say it to somebody who's a parent, a teacher, a friend. There's even places online where you're not talking to somebody you know, but there's always a way. Reporting it is only going to help you in many ways. You'll finally get the help you need, but also you're stopping them from doing it to somebody else. I think the general public need to change the way that they treat people who come forward as well. I think also because the amount of people who have lied about it, people sometimes aren't as easily believed, or also society kind of has this non-caring attitude nowadays as much. So I think when somebody comes forward, that you need to show them empathy, you need to listen and let them have the chance to tell their story, because otherwise they're still going to be living that torture for a really long time.
Charles Ray Palmer, for That's TV.